This post might be lengthy, but I'll try to keep it concise and clear. I'm struggling with how to handle this situation and need advice. For context, my parents are swingers, a fact I learned shortly after graduating high school in 2016. I've never judged their lifestyle until recently. What they do privately is their business, but I'd rather not witness it firsthand. I know this might make me sound judgmental, but I've always accepted them for who they are. Still, it's unsettling to see my parents openly affectionate with others at social gatherings. They've been involved with another couple for nearly 2 years now. This couple recently moved into my parents' home after losing their own and struggling to find a new place. To accommodate them, my parents moved my sister, her fiancé, and their baby out of the basement into a cramped 12x12 upstairs bedroom, giving their friends more space. This couple has also started calling themselves additional grandparents to my niece, using terms like grandma name and papa name. My sister and her fiancé find this inappropriate, but my parents and their friends seem unbothered, acting like one big family. Now about the vacation. We planned our first family trip for October 2021, but it was postponed to April 2022 due to wedding expenses, which everyone agreed on. It was delayed again because my sister was in her 3rd trimester and couldn't travel. It's now scheduled for February 2023. My parents announced that they're bringing their friends on this trip, which frustrates me given how they've treated my sister and their public displays of affection. PDA. I'm considering skipping the trip altogether. As I said, this is our first family vacation, and I wanted it to be just for immediate family. I'm at a loss for how to address this without upsetting my parents, as my husband, sister, and her fiancé, let's call him Bill, share my feelings. Any suggestions? I'm married and live independently, but my sister, her fiancé, and their baby live with my parents. They're actively searching for a new place, but our state's high cost of living makes it tough, especially with only one income. Hopefully this clarifies things. I didn't expect this post to get so much attention. I've read every comment and appreciate the advice. I know my parents are adults who can make their own choices, and I've never said otherwise. I'm not opposed to their relationship with this couple. They identify as swingers, though some might call it polyamory. My issue is how they push it on everyone. I'm fine with what they do privately, but their PDA and behavior in public make me uncomfortable. They keep a fridge calendar detailing nights they swap partners, like my mom and the other woman alternating between my dad and the other man. They also make crude sexual jokes or flash each other in front of us. I just wish they'd wait until we're not around. That's what bothers me. A few weeks ago, I shared about my parents inviting their friends on our family vacation and promised an update after talking to them. It didn't go well, and I'm sorry for the delay. I've been grappling with the outcome. Here's what happened. I shared my concerns with my parents and they were upset. They asked why I hadn't spoken up sooner, and I explained I was okay with their lifestyle until I saw it firsthand, which made me uneasy. They now think I don't accept them for who they are and see no issue with bringing their friends or being affectionate in front of others. My mom said their actions are no one's business, and they can do as they please, which is true. They're adults. But I believe some things should stay private. They also view their partners as family, which is fine for them. But they're still inviting them on the vacation despite our feelings. I just wanted time with my parents without their friends and their drama. They're also okay with their friends calling themselves grandparents to my niece. Frustrated, I told them my husband and I won't attend the trip and won't visit until they understand our perspective. For now, I've cut contact with them. I'm heartbroken that they'd choose their friends over their kids, but I guess that's their choice. Thanks for all the comments. I read everyone, even if I didn't reply. The supportive ones helped, and even the critical ones gave me perspective. Comment 1. Sorry this happened. Did your sister support you? OOP. Yes, she agrees with me. She's unsure about going on the trip, so we might plan our own small getaway if she skips it. I cut my parents off, and now my dad might be dying. What should I do? I'm a 27-year-old woman seeking advice, feeling lost. This might be an update to my earlier post from a few years ago. My parents have an open polyamorous marriage, starting as swingers when I was 7. A few years ago, they settled with one couple, which I was fine with. They seemed happy. But when this couple, let's call them D and T, entered their lives, my parents changed. They became toxic, controlling, and hard to be around, disregarding everyone's feelings and forcing D and T into our lives. I've realized I don't want to be around D and T. Their inappropriate behavior in front of my sister's family, my husband, and me has made us uncomfortable. My parents even evicted my sister's family from their basement to give D and T more space when my niece was just 2 months old. Things have worsened since. D and T call themselves extra parents or grandparents to my son and niece, despite my requests for them to stop, as I barely know them. My parents consistently prioritize D and T over my sister, her family, and me. Last year, my sister asked my mom to watch her daughter during a move because of bad weather. But my mom refused, citing a Mario Kart night with D and T. When I announced my pregnancy, my dad's first question was whether he could tell D and T I said no after my son was born. I visited my parents for a brief 30 minutes. My dad texted D to say I was there, and they showed up. My mom, holding my baby, handed him to D and T without asking me, which upset me. Not because of who they are, but because no one should pass a baby without permission. For my son's small religious ceremony, like a christening, I invited only close family and friends. My parents asked to bring D and T, but I declined, so they skipped the event, choosing their partners over a family occasion despite my repeated boundary setting. I decided enough was enough. I told my parents I was happy for their joy but wouldn't keep getting hurt. I said I wasn't forcing them to choose but needed space. I haven't seen or spoken to them since April 2024. I've set boundaries multiple times, but they ignore them, wanting us to be one big family, which my sister, her partner, my husband, and I don't want. We just want time with our parents. Yesterday, my mom texted that my dad has heart failure. I'm overwhelmed with grief, anger, and sadness. Part of me wants a better relationship if they respect my boundaries, but I've felt happier and more at peace these past 9 months. I don't want to regret not reconciling if my dad passes, but I'm tired of their hurtful actions. I'm in therapy working through this, but it's tough. Any advice is welcome, and I'll try to answer questions. Thanks for reading, and sorry if this was confusing. I've had positive experiences with other couples my parents were involved with. My issue is with D and T's actions, which pushed me away. I'm happy for my parents, but shouldn't have to endure discomfort to please them. I chose distance for my mental health. You need to decide. They're only reaching out because of your dad's condition, not to be better parents. They've chosen D and T over your son. He doesn't need to see them, you can visit alone. They're guilting you without apologizing. OOP, that's how I feel. They're pressuring me when I'm not ready. My mom texted months ago asking how long I'll stay away, and if they're still toxic, blaming me despite my clear boundaries. I know it's not my fault, but they make me feel guilty for protecting myself and my son. They've flashed each other in front of us. My dad once mooned the door thinking I was his partner, and other actions that shouldn't happen around kids or their spouses. One partner would touch my back despite my protests, knowing I'm uncomfortable with touch due to childhood trauma. I've set boundaries. No second parents, grandparents for my child, no obscene PDA beyond a kiss, and I don't view their partners as family. But they're ignored. You won't get the relationship you want with your parents. They're selfish and will always include their partners. Don't feel guilty. They never prioritized you. OOP, thanks. I needed to hear don't feel guilty. This has affected me deeply, and I'm learning to prioritize my family's well-being. My black wife and I had a son who seemed too dark to be mine, so I secretly got a paternity test, confirming he's mine. When I told her, she called me racist and we separated. I'm a 29-year-old white man. My wife is 30 and black. We have 2 kids, a 3-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old son. We got pregnant early in our relationship, after a year together, and married because of it. We were happy. When our son was born, I accepted him, but noticed he didn't look like me. He's darker than my wife and doesn't appear half white. Friends and family questioned if he was mine, and though I trusted my wife, doubts lingered. I loved him regardless. When our daughter was born, I had no doubts. She looks just like me with my blue eyes. Bonding with her was easier without paternity concerns, and my family connected with her faster. Her resemblance to me fueled doubts about my son. I started resenting my son, feeling I was raising someone else's child, and grew distant from my wife, suspecting she'd lied. I secretly got a paternity test, which confirmed he's mine. Relieved, I felt closer to him and my wife. 4 months ago, we were excited about a 3rd child. I confessed about the test, expecting understanding since he doesn't resemble me. She was furious, asking if I doubted our daughter. When I said no, she called me racist, saying I made our son feel unloved. I denied it, insisting I treated him well despite my doubts. She threatened to leave with the kids post-quarantine. It's been over a week and I'm on the couch. She barely speaks to me except about the kids. I don't want to lose my family. Was it so wrong to have doubts? I still cared for him. I think she's overreacting after harsh feedback on my post. I didn't plan to return, but recent events prompted an update. My wife and I are separated. I moved out so she and the kids could stay in our home, and I'm with my parents. I see my kids less than I'd like, but we'll share custody once I'm settled. It's been tough. They ask when I'll come home, and I can't answer. My son's struggling most, and I feel awful for upending their lives. I miss my family, my kids, and my wife. Our relationship is uncertain. She's unsure if she can forgive me. I've apologized every way I can and am giving her space, hoping she'll reconsider. She's open to counseling, which gives me hope. I initially dodged accountability, not seeing how my actions hurt my son. I didn't mean to be racist, but I treated him differently because of his skin color. I feel guilty, knowing her family likely thinks poorly of me now. With today's world, I'm learning to be more aware of my actions. My kids deserve a racism-free home. I worry about the world they'll face where my son could be profiled. I'll never let anything come between us again. Thanks for the feedback. I haven't used this account in over a year. I stopped replying to messages because revisiting this was painful, though most were kind. I'm surprised to still get messages recently, so here's an update. I'm single. Ex-wife and I divorced in early 2022. We tried reconciling for over a year after the test, with counseling, but she couldn't fully forgive or trust me. Intimacy faded, and I slept on the couch or with the kids. We became roommates. I wanted to keep trying, but she accepted it was over sooner than I did. I still care for her and always will. The heartbreak was crushing, and I fell into depression, losing my job. I miss what we had. I dread the day she moves on, though I know it's coming. I have my own apartment now. My kids, now 8 son and nearly 6 daughter, stay with me every other weekend and during school breaks. My son's athletic, excelling in soccer, and I see more of myself in him now. He doesn't know about the test, and I hope he never will. He's a great kid, and I'm making up for lost time. My daughter, still my mini-me, loves gymnastics and soccer. I sometimes wonder about the sibling they might have had if not for my actions, but I try not to dwell. My life's not perfect, but it's getting better. I'm grateful for my kids. They're all that matters. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories. Get more experiences.